Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Hulk. It's the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Submariner, reference 116610LV. You can see and you can purchase this beautiful green Rolex Submariner in stainless steel on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see this great green Rolex and our entire collection of pre-owned Rolex timepieces. Now the watch on my wrist represents something of a sensation. Usually a new model makes a splash at its debut, as this one certainly did when it launched in 2010 at Bezel World, and then gradually loses momentum over time as it becomes relatively outmoded by the styles and tastes of a progressing era. The further we forge into the future, in general, the less yesterday's new watch is desired by those who seek today's latest. This watch is the antidote to planned obsolescence and market momentum, as today, in 2018, this is arguably the hottest the model on my wrist has ever been, often selling substantially over list on the pre-owned market, with waiting lists at dealers looking to buy this watch, which, once again, has been on the market since 2010. Let's find out why. Fit and feel. Those of you who've worn 5-digit pre-super case Rolex Submariners will still be able to wear this one, even though it's bigger and more imposing. You can see on my 16cm circumference wrist, this watch wears easy. Now it's 40mm across the round of the case, not including crown or crown guards, but it's relatively slim, and that's the saving grace. The timepiece is only 12.6mm thick, so while you can wear it underneath the cuff of a sport jacket or a suit jacket, you can also fit it underneath a dress sleeve. It is pretty slim in profile with a generously sloped conical bezel, so the watch wears thin. From lug to lug, that is true lug to lug, the case spans 48.1mm across the wrist, but when you do add the solid end links of this very substantial Oyster bracelet, you wind up with a broader span of 51.2mm across the wrist. Now today's steel Rolex, with a massive stamped 904L steel case, solid end links, solid center links, and a full milled out steel clasp. Today's steel Rolex watches on bracelets wind up feeling like yesterday's full gold Rolex watches on bracelets. It's because of the solidity of everything provided. You can see no detail is overlooked, from the broad channels beneath the links that allow the wrist to aerate on a hot day, to the depth of the scalloped portions between the links to avoid pinching skin or pulling hair, the polish on the flanks, the satin on the top, and the substance of this clasp. You can see even internally, high polished finish, beautifully executed. The clasp features Rolex's glide lock system, so we're a step above Easy Link here. Easy Link is 5mm of tool-free adjustment. This is 20mm in 2mm increments. Locks in place when you push the clamp down, so it won't move now. It's quite well anchored. When you flip it up, now you have up to 20mm of adjustment in 10 individual increments. Superb for sizing over a dive suit, yes, but also excellent for putting the watch over a thick winter coat or sweater. Now moving on to the watch head, you can see today's stamped Rolex cases really give no quarter. In every respect, the finish is immaculate, the lines are crisp, the quality is incredible, and again, 904L steel being that much more scratch and corrosion resistant than standard 316. Is the margin you need for daily use? Probably not, but luxury is about getting more than you need. Rolex gives you more than you need in ways you never expected. Now that continues inboard with the bezel. Yes, it's a beautiful green Cerachrom, and that's a wonderful material for a bezel insert, but it's the quality of the detent and the depth of the knurling. There's a distinct purchase when you grip even lightly on this wonderfully knurled bezel, because there's a slight sharpness and a digging edge, not uncomfortable, but purposeful, to this knurling that makes this one of the few dive bezels that would be truly easy to manipulate with wet, sweaty, or gloved hands. Now, okay, that insert, it is the claim to fame in this model is the LV for lunette vert, so the lunette in green, the bezel in green, helps to define the watch, alongside the sunburst metallic green-gold dial, as Rolex calls it. The Cerachrom is deep, rich, lustrous, with platinum deposited within the recesses of the calibrations for indices as well as numerals. There is actually a sapphire-capped pearl. Even this element is composed of multiple parts, with sapphire on the top to prevent scratching or abrasion of the luminescent dot. You can line it up with the minute hand, And now you can time impromptu a 0 to 60-minute interval. I actually find this far easier to reference on the surface than a chronograph. For me, this is the best timing device ever invented in a wristwatch format. Who needs a mechanical chronograph when you have a dive bezel? Now, I'll also say that Cerachrome insert is effectively as hard as the sapphire crystal, resistant to scratches and scuffs for long-wearing durability. Moving into the dial, I'm going to increase my aperture a little bit to get things a bit brighter so you can capture the sunburst grain of the dial. It is metallic. It does have a rayon directional grain that originates at the center amid the cannon pinion and the cluster of white gold hands, and then it radiates outward. So in direct light, it's fairly explosive, and it glows gently in indoor light. All of the indices are made of white gold with Rolex's Chromolite material, so you're actually going to see a lume shot at the end of this video so you can see what it looks like in the dark. It's very easy to read in any light. The watch has a Cyclops eye magnifier over a jump date that changes precisely at midnight, 300-meter water resistance thanks to the triplock crown and the screw-in oyster-style caseback, and what's under the hood is Rolex's manufacturer caliber 3135, automatic winding with a 48-hour power reserve. It beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. Rolex then cases the watch up and retests to beyond chronometer standards, +2, -2. to assure that not only is this a Swiss chronometer, but it goes over and above the requirements of the chronometer test. Now, it is a free-sprung balance with a full balance bridge, which makes it a very shock-resistant movement. It also has a Breguet overcoil hairspring constructed from parachrom blue alloy created by Rolex, the two features respectively, the overcoil allowing the watch to keep good time regardless of its orientation with respect to gravity. So in terms of positional deviation, there's very little, and the parachrom blue alloy helping the watch to be robustly anti-magnetic. And of course, it does have a quick set date, so you can rapidly cycle the date should you wish to correct the watch should it run down or encounter an irregular length month. There's also a hacking or stop seconds feature for precisely synchronizing the watch to a known accurate reference time. And because Rolex uses a bidirectional winding system with Teflon-coated reverser wheels, it's almost impossible to hear or feel the watch winding itself. So though perhaps utilitarian in its origins, today's Rolex Submariner, hotter than ever, is quite refined. Stay tuned for a quick lume shot after the cut. Rolex Oyster Perpetual Submariner. You're looking at the Hulk, but you wouldn't know it. In the dark, all Rolex's Submariners, black or green, glow blue.